Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're welcome back to another BKFC Reddit Ask Me Anything. We're joined by a good friend of the show, Royal Ryan Reber. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing great, baby.
I don't like talking to you guys the week of fight because I know you're cutting weight and you're training a lot and you got a lot of obligations. But I appreciate you making time for us.
Oh, absolutely, man. I appreciate you.
All right, you got a big fight coming up. Like I kind of thought we were gonna see you on like another Connecticut card, but you got to do another like it's kind of a hometown show. I mean, Clearwater's a little bit of ways, but I mean it is still kind of a little bit of a hometown show. Are you excited to be on the Clearwater card?
Oh man, I mean the venue's 5 minutes from my house. I'm stoked. I could literally Uber there. I make the joke that I'm just gonna warm up in my fucking living room. Text me when you guys are ready. I'm gonna come beat this dude's ass, and then I'm gonna go back to my house.
It is kind of funny because like when you're the co-main event, you don't fight for like 4 or 5 hours after you get there. You know what I mean? It's one of those like, can you
Right,
go
and I'm
home?
gonna literally ask them if I could just chill at my house until I'm ready, because I don't want to sit outside in the tent and however the fuck they got to set up. And if they okay that, bro, I'm literally gonna go to my house and chill until an hour before I gotta be on. I don't see why it would be a fucking problem.
The only issue I could see is like it's weird because like when we were
Well,
in
you can't have
Dubai,
your hands wrapped and then go.
right? So when we were in Dubai, like once you wrapped, like even before that though, even without having our guys wrap, like the commission had to follow my guy everywhere. Like so, it had to be
Oh yeah.
me and one of the commission guys. But in Omaha, like no one watched us wrap hands. Like you could do what you want. People were going outside smoking by themselves. It was crazy.
Yeah, that shit. It is different. But we're in the gunshine state, man. Not a whole lot of rules apply down here.
Okay, so I got fun stuff to talk to you about, and we got boring fight stuff. Like, what would you prefer to start with?
Man, you just drop them, bro. Drop them. Let's go.
We'll mix in a little bit of both. Okay, so your mom, like I said, so just I again, I don't want to throw you under the bus. She gave me some crazy stuff. Like, you had a
Oh.
traumatic childhood growing up. Like, I read some of this stuff, and I was like, holy shit, how is this kid not a serial killer? How is he a fighter?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm a product of my environment, man. It's crazy, all the shit that I've been through and put myself through. I just found light at the end of the tunnel, man. And even as a kid, I've always moved with good intentions, man. I've always treated people really well. I always give love before I gotta give you these fists. And that's just the way I've always moved, man. Always with good intentions, man, and always had great gratitude and integrity, even growing up as a kid, man. So, and fuck. I feel like it's the only way to live, man.
So, it's kind of interesting. We talked to JR and he really wants to fight in the Philippines, but you're a guy that probably really wants to fight in the Philippines too. Like I didn't realize that you like grew up over there.
Yeah, man. I mean, if for a little bit until Pinatubo erupted and they shipped us back. So, I mean, I've already had that instilled in my body, man, to, you know, be in traumatic situations, So it is what it is, I can pretty much handle anything, I guess, except for Blias. Nah, I'm coming back for that ass too. Don't you worry.
Okay, so let's touch on the volcano. Your mom said you tried to smuggle back rocks from the volcano and you got busted, and you're supposed to tell us where you were trying to hide them.
In my nose. My mom was like, "Here, you should put these in your ass." I was like, "Mom, what the fuck? No, Mom. We can't smoke these rocks.
I
Absolutely
didn't
not."
I didn't realize you couldn't bring back rocks from a volcano.
I didn't. I mean, probably because it was part of a psyop. Who knows? You know what I mean? That's probably why I'm such a fucking conspiracy theorist, because I've just been down the rabbit hole, and then plus I've been through all this crazy shit. So, um, you know, think outside the box,
Okay.
man. But yeah, they probably didn't want to do any. I think I did have one of those rocks though for a while, because they're weird. Like, you would see like a rock like huge, or like, something that would look like would weigh 200, 300 pounds, and they would actually float on water. You know what I
Really?
mean? Like, real lightweight rocks. Just, I don't
Okay.
know, ash or soot or whatever it was.
Your mom said she's in the chat. She said you tried to bring them back in your pencil box.
Only my mom would remember that shit. Like, I don't remember that.
Oh, that's funny.
Bro,
Okay,
I
so
barely remember what I did yesterday.
I know, but like it's weird how some stuff gets ingrained in your memory. Like and like I said,
No, for sure.
do you Do you remember the very first memory that you can remember? The very first memory that I can remember, I was 3 years old and I was trying to hit a goat with a shovel. And I remember having the shovel in my hand and this goat just fucking clocked me in the face with his horns.
Shit, I had a similar story, but I don't remember it. But I'm sure my mom will tell you about that one too. She said I beat a bunny with a bowling pin, bro. I was like, what? What a psycho. Fuck's the matter with me?
She,
But I mean, that's probably why we're bare knuckle fighting nowadays, huh? But I mean,
you,
listen, man, I would never, ever, ever harm or hurt any animals. You know what I mean? Maybe I was just seeing if you could take an ass whooping. I don't know. I don't remember.
she literally just said, "Ask him about the bunny," which is too funny. I'm not gonna be able to like, she's like a great backup.
No, man, she's too much, man. She's got too much time on her hands right now.
Okay, so let's talk about the Blas fight. You are adamant that wasn't you. I mean, we've seen you fight. You're 6-1. We've seen six perfect. Like this is Ryan Reber. I agree, it wasn't your best performance. What happened for that fight?
I mean, honestly, a lot of shit. First and foremost, we got to be honest with ourselves. Did I do championship level shit weeks leading up to the fight? I did not. Now I tried to rebound from it. I gotta with me and quick story, try to make it as quick as I can. Me, Dave Mundell, and one of our buddies, Jeff Bailey, who actually fought bare knuckle too, and his wife Delaney Bailey fights bare knuckle. They just had a kid and whatever. We're at this MMA event. This is 6 weeks before the fucking fight, and we're at this event. I promised myself I'm not drinking. We're not partying. Bro, we meet the guy who owns fucking Bartow Ford, and he's like, "Yo, come back to the strip club and talk to it," because we're trying to get a sponsor by this dude. He was just there supporting another fighter. So we go to the strip club. Dave eyeballs the expensive ass bottle of tequila because we're with ballers, bro. This dude's fucking stupid money. So we see the bottle of tequila. Dave's like, "Oh, we could have just one shot." And Dave does not a drinker. So I'm like, okay. One shot turned into five, five turned into we're at this fucking dude's house, his mansion, and he's got simulated golf. He's got a whole fucking stripper room. He's got, bro, and I mean the ratio to guys to girls was very nice. You know what I mean? And that's not why we were there, because I'm married
Sure,
and I didn't give a fuck about that. But I felt like we were trying to be friends with this guy so we could land a good sponsor. You know what I mean?
sure.
So we're hanging out with him, whatever, whatever. I end up fucking my lady ends up thinking I'm fucking dead. Calls the cops. They track my phone. They show up to this dude's mansion. It's like 3 a.m. So she's in the background yelling. The cops are there. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Bro, what does it fucking look like I'm doing?" I'm like, "Wow, bro." And I don't know. I was like, "How'd you guys even get in here?" They got through the security and the gates and all that shit. So I'm like, fucking, next thing I know, it's fucking 6 in the morning. We're up all fucking night. And I'm like, man, those are just things like, so then, here comes Monday. Now I'm like, oh, I got this title fight coming up. I got to get back to fucking work. I got to, you know what I mean? I'm fucking get back, keep getting into work, fucking lack of sleep. And then we fucking make a trip down to Vegas, man. And I'm sure you've been to Vegas, bro. And that energy in Vegas is so high level, man. We couldn't sleep in Vegas, and not because I partied. I didn't party, but still couldn't get no sleep out there. Just completely wore myself the fuck out. I was on weight 3 weeks before the fight. So even then, I'm still trying to put it in my head like, doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I got the title fight coming up. We're not making excuses. We're going into it. I get into the title fight. Um, we walk down the little back room to the little tent area. I get in the tent area. I reweigh in with all my shit on. I'm fucking 141, light as fuck. Go into the back room. Then I hear him and his team walk down. He walks down. This fucker weighed back in at 154. I was like, what? And it just like, bro, it hit me like a fucking ton of bricks. And I mean, I should have been able to just say, fuck it. I don't care if he's 200 pounds. I'm fucking this dude up and taking my goddamn belt. That's the mentality I should have had. But instead, bro, I let that shit get right into my mind. And like the people that were around me were like, even like Nelson at the time was like, "Do you remember talking to me, bro?" Right before I was like, "Bro, I don't remember nothing. I remember going out there, eating Blythe's best punch, getting up, was like, all right, whatever, that wasn't that bad." Then he caught me to the fucking eyeball. And when I went down to the eyeball, I'm literally looking around for my eyeball because I couldn't see out of my fucking eye. I'm like, oh my God, man. Oh my God. It's just, I knew it, man. I fucking knew it. And this is what I'm thinking while I'm on the ground. And then I'm like, if I get up, man, from this, he's gonna knock me out, bro. And then I got a knockout on my record. Yes, it was a horrible decision to not even get up and try to fight my ass off, man. But I was so fucking hurt in the eye that I was just like, if I get up, I'm something bad's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And I had to fucking make that decision, man. And that's a decision that I don't ever want to make again. So what do? We get back in here and we work hard. And I took this fight, ironically, even more serious than I've taken any of my fights. I got in with I got in with getting blood work done, with, taking my health serious, to, you know, finding out all these things that I was deficient in, and, fixing those things, man. And so when you fix those things and you get healthy and you get your mind right and you get your energy levels back up, you know, like I always say, man, realistically, how I ran it all the way up to the top was just pure determination, man, because there was a lot of even in the Perez fight, you guys after the Travis fight kind of slowly watched me kind of decline. I feel like, you know what I mean? I slowly felt like I declined a little bit. And then by the time I got into that title fight, man, it wasn't my time, man. It wasn't meant to be, man. And, I can't take nothing back, man. I don't take anything away from Blias, man. He's a great champ. But I want that fight again, man. I really do. Because I really want to go out there. It'd be one thing to go out there and because I shouldn't have got hit with those shots. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have got hit with that kill shot, but I did.
Sure.
So the next time around, I know what to expect. I know the weight thing. I know what's going on. So it's going to be a different fight because I really want to put these fucking hands on him, man. I really want to test him, man. I really want to take him into deep waters. And I already proved that I could take his best punch. So it's like ultimately that's the goal down the road once again. So we'll just have to see.
You sound more fired up than ever. Like I said, we talked before your Blast fight, and you definitely did not have this energy. Is it hard to stay hungry, to stay focused when you're
Oh,
6-0?
absolutely, man. I mean, you guys got to think. I fought February, had a tough ass fight with Perez, which
Mhm.
shouldn't even have been that tough. But I mean, that was a good Perez. And then once again, I kind of 2 months later, off of a killer fight like that, sustaining injuries, my hands were fucked up. 2 months later, right back in there with Anthony Foy, and Anthony Foy was a slick fucker, man. He wasn't too bad, man. And I asked him after that fight. I said, "Who was a tougher fight, me or Justin?" He said, "You were, bro." I said, you know what I mean? And once again, I don't take nothing away from Justin. I like Justin, man, but you know, he's got people, he's got people, for example, like Perez, when he fought Perez, I feel like he fought a battered Perez and he hit him with that kill shot to the eye. That fight could have been a little bit longer, could have gone a little bit differently. But luckily for Justin, he got a banged up Perez that just got his fucking, got a TKO finish versus Schulte. Uh,
Yeah, Dylan Schulte. Yeah, yeah.
Dylan, yep. And then, then he gets in there with Abby. And he looked pretty good against Abby, but Abby's the 125er. You know what I'm saying? And Abby lost his grandmother 4 days prior. And I know Abby personally. And I know
Sure.
that he was trying to pull out of that fight and didn't even want to fight. And then, but once again, what are you gonna do? So there again, Justin got a fucking vulnerable opponent. Not to take anything away from Justin, but that's what ends up happening, man. And I mean, it's just the name of the game, man. So, you know, if he ain't gonna fucking fight Blas, shit. After this fight, and I'm not looking past Matt, but you know, I just don't feel like Matt's on my level, man. He seems to say that he's seen some of my holes in his. I mean, y'all, everybody's gonna think and feel that way. Nobody's gonna go into a fight, especially on an interview or especially on whatever it is, and not be confident. But it's the way that people say things sometimes is where you can catch them. You know what I mean? And how they say it, and the things that they say. And his whole narrative was that I was running from him. I'm like, are you fucking high, bro? Probably, but I'm running from you. I said, you're fucking, because I was supposed to fight him in Connecticut
Sure.
and he wasn't even on the radar. So they were like, okay, let's get you a fucking comeback fight. I think Matt Guyman will be a good comeback fight for him. I'm like, who the fuck is that? And then he's got my name in his mouth. He's talking shit after his first fight, like, oh, I'd fight Reber because I throw more punches than he does. I threw more punches in his last fight. I'm like, bro, that's what you're basing this off of? You're fucking crazy. Okay, whatever. So I'm like, yeah, let's fight him. So everything was ready to go. Contracts were supposedly sent. I didn't get the contract. My manager did. So for some reason, shit got weird. All of a sudden, Randall calls me out. I'm like, fuck it, I'll fight fucking Randall. I don't care if he's with All In. You talking shit like that, bro? Like you the king of New England and blah 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 blah. Like, bro, I don't. That's the fake shit I don't like, man. Like, bro, if that's how you feel, then we could do this, bro. Cause you're a little dude, bro, and I'm gonna fuck you up. And I told Vic, I'm like, bro, let us fight. And he was like, nah, that fight don't make no sense. And then all of a sudden, him and Strode get the fucking fight over me and Guyman. So I'm like, all right. So what am I gonna do? Cry over spilled milk? Whatever fucking happened. Well, this Matt Guyman makes a fucking post, doesn't tag me in the post, just puts Reber. Reber doesn't know how to sign a contract and he's running from me. What a bitch, blah blah blah, like something along those lines. And of course, my mom fucking found it, sent it to me. I'm like, Mom, I don't give a fuck. I'm not even giving this dude the time of day. Let him think whatever he wants.
Sure.
And then they tagged me in the post. Justin Martinez tagged my name in the comments. So I had to go in on him. So I went in on him and I'm like, bro, whatever the fuck I said, I don't even remember. But then I inboxed him and I was like, listen, motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think I'm fucking scared of you, bro? I said, you're fucking crazy. He's like, nah, bro. I mean, my bad, bro. Like, I didn't, I just can't get a fight and blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what, Matt? You're fucking welcome, bro. Not only do you get a vacation, but you get to come to Florida and you're the co-main event. You know why? Because of fucking me, bro. So, thank me later, bro. You know what I mean? I gave you this opportunity. And you better fucking hope you capitalize on it, bro, because I've been doing everything in my power. I've had all my sparring partners, including Dave, text me like, bro, you're sharp right now, man. Bro, you look good right now. And that's how winning is done. That's when I feel at my utmost confident. Those were things that nobody was saying to me during the Blyas camp. Not one of my sparring partners, not my fucking coach, none of those people. So I mean, that's how I know I'm on a different level. And like I said, man, you guys really truly haven't, like, if I would have went out there against Blyas and showed my ass and showed all my skills and then he beat me, that's a tough pill to swallow. I mean, it was already a tough pill to swallow with how it went, but like I say, man, like, come on, man, like I beat me. He didn't fucking beat me. He did what he was supposed to do. And like I say, when I come back in there and if we get the opportunity to fight him again, which if he's the champ, we will, because I will run that shit right back up to the top like I said I would in the fucking beginning of this. And it's going to be a different fight, man. I'm going to be way more prepared. And that loss, all it did was make me way more hungrier, man. And it made me have to lock in and realize, like, bro, there's levels to this shit. And you can't be doing certain things during camp if you want to be a champion. This isn't just given, it's earned, man. And if I'm a very spiritual being in the sense that, you have to do the right things energetically, everything, the people you associate with, all these things have to be in a certain order for you to be successful. And if one of them is out of line and you get in there with a guy like Blyas, it's a short night for you. And I've learned that, man.
Okay, the thing that I've noticed is you're putting in a lot of strength and conditioning. I saw you out there with Coach Ruiz, I mean, I feel like you've always had like the sharp tools and stuff, but it looks like you're working on your cardio and the muscles and stuff like that. I think it's great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, look at okay, now that you brought up Nick, you look at Julian. How was his last fight?
Right,
Knockout. I brought him to Nick. He worked out with Nick for fucking 6 weeks. Jessica Borga. What was her last fight?
destroyed. Yeah,
Dave Mundell works with Nick. See where I'm going with this? Now
absolutely.
I'm the next guy in line. So, Matt, you better fucking cross your T's and dot your I's, my boy, and don't just be looking at this as a fun time, because you're gonna have your fucking hands full come May 2nd.
Okay, let's bring it down a little bit. I'm going to ask you another question from your mom. She said Ryan got away with everything. Everyone loved him. All of his teachers in school. He graduated high school somehow, even though he was never there. Tell us about that.
Oh man, shit. I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. I was cool with the front office lady, bro. she didn't let me hit or nothing, you know what I mean? But I mean, shit, probably could have pressed it to that level. Who fucking knows? Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm very convinced that a lot of the kids who tune out the bullshit programming the school system has to fucking indoctrinate into your mind always become somebody. You know what I mean? And I went from most changed in my senior yearbook at the end of the year because in the beginning, in the ninth grade, I hung around all the thugs and, thought I was a gangster and those were my people to getting involved in the martial arts and reading Bruce Lee's Tao of Jeet Kune Do changed my fucking life. And then I started to see things from a different perspective. And I started to realize that, these thug ass fucking gangster kids don't even have much to offer,
Sure.
And then I was like, well, you know what? The goth kids, they smoke good weed, you know? The fucking preppy kids have the best parties. The fucking gangsters are respected. This group of people, so everybody had something to offer. So instead of just surrounding myself in a group of people, I took myself back and I would, instead of being in a group, I'd be by myself in the hallway and I'd analyze everything and I would just watch and I would just pay attention. And that's, one of my biggest things in life is to pay attention because shit ain't free. I mean, that to me is the ultimate form of currency because the dollar is fake, man. Everybody out here chasing the dollar and everything else, man. Yeah, we need it to survive and we need it to live, but that's not what this earth realm, in my opinion, is about. It's about evolving. So if you're around a group of motherfuckers who just are in the same spot even 6 months from now, you better get away from those motherfuckers, man. You know what I mean? I don't care how cool you are, how much clout you have, any of that shit, bro. Like if you're not on the same mission as me, and you could be a janitor, you could be driving the fucking PSTA bus. But if you're not on an upward trajectory of, striving for absolute greatness and a good person, I can't fuck with you, man. And I don't.
I understand that. I also think there's something to being like a bit of a chameleon and being able to blend in with people and like maybe not necessarily gangsters, but I think there's something about being able to kind of relate and kind of see where people are coming from. I feel like it's important to be able to understand people, and then you can make very informed
Absolutely.
decisions. And it sounds like that's kind of what you did. Like my senior year, like I remember being friends with all these people, even though I was a jock. But like you said, you're friends with everybody, but you definitely know, like, all right, I don't want to hang out with these people, but it's okay to
No,
it's okay
and
to
like I said, and I always, nowadays growing up, you get a lot of this agenda pushing shit. Like
sure,
I don't. It's okay to be gay. It's okay to be trans. It's okay to be any of those things, but don't fucking shove it down people's throat, and damn sure don't shove it down my children's fucking throat. Let
sure.
me explain to them what's going on, and I teach my kids very well. And between the teachers, my son's coaches, anybody that's around me, like, wow, you got really well behaved kids, man. Your son's he's 13 years old. He's very respectful. Listens, grinds, a star baseball player. And those are, what I did with my kids is what I would love to do for the next generation of broken kids. Like he's got a kid on his baseball team that lost his mom to drugs and lives with his grandpa, but he's a stud baseball player. And those are kids I like to pull to the side and you know, explain to them how I came up and how I made things happen and what's important and, how, moving with good intentions and having good gratitude and integrity is very important, and those are the conversations I have with my son and his friends instead of like, oh yeah, like I'm a bare knuckle fighter. I just beat people up. Let's fucking beat everybody up. Like, no, bro. I've talked myself out of more fights than I've got myself into fights. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Just because I know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's gonna be bad, bro. You know what I mean? You fight somebody, whether it's in the street or in that ring, like it's kill mode, man. So I like to keep it peaceful as much as I can.
All right, let's talk about the 135 division. Right now, like it's an interesting division because it's kind of all up in the air. You got Keith coming off another loss. He's got 2 losses lately. Justin finally beat somebody in the top 5. So I'll give him the kudos for that. He beat somebody in the top 5. So I feel like he deserves to be up there. But you have Larimore coming off a loss. You got Chris Garcia coming off a loss. 135 really feels like it's open for the taking, and anybody can
Again,
slide
yes,
into
sir.
that spot right now. So I feel like, you come off a dominant performance here, you could easily be fighting Blas next. And I think that's a great opportunity for you.
Well, no, and I mean because I don't think Heath obviously probably don't want to fight him again. Justin thinks he's a fucking champ because he's 7-0, which is, I mean, bro, that's fucking whack, bro. I mean, I would never do no shit like that. Yes, you've earned your clout, my friend, because you're 7-0. But look at your fucking resume. You ain't fight a Travis Thompson. You ain't fight well, you did fight Derek Perez, but you fought a broke Derek Perez. You did fight Abby, but Abby's told me so many times, no, bro, I'm going back down to 125. So they offered him a big fight at 135. Of course he's gonna fucking take it. You know what I mean? So, like I said, man, if he's not willing to step up and fight Blyas, because he obviously has no interest in that. Let me
Right.
do it again. Let me do it again. Give me that opportunity again. You know what I mean? And I'll earn it again. They don't have to give me shit. I'll earn it just like I did in the first place. You know what I mean? So, you're right. It is wide open. And me and Larimore, he says we're boys, but I mean, Dave always is saying, there's kind of weird talks amongst them in the gym about me. So I got offered him to fight, and I said yes. I was like, I'll fucking fight Larimore. And then my coach and Dave didn't really like the fight. He's like, bro, it's kind of a conflict of interest. We all kind of train together. I mean, I know you don't
Sure.
train with Larimore, but I do, and I've heard. And then I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, bro, you're really 0-1 in the division. I mean, get you a couple wins in the division and we'll see where it takes us. Don't fucking call, you know what I'm saying? Like, he hit me up on my inbox, like, he was like, hey, brother, since we're both kind of in the same area, they're probably gonna pitch us a fight. But I'm like, listen, I'm not stupid, bro. What you're gonna do is pitch the fight, and you're trying to get my fucking approval to fight you, which is cool. You know what I mean? And then a week later, here comes Nate Shook to, my manager Vic, and was like, hey, does Larimore want to fight? I mean, does Reber want to fight Larimore for the featured fights? Fight will be featured fight. I'm like, bro, you guys have no idea like how many people I truly know, and I could single-handedly sell that venue out myself, and I almost did. I sold almost $20,000 in tickets, and I didn't even scratch the surface. You know what I mean? And that's what the organization not only needs, but they want and they love. So I went from being on the card with Matt Guyman to being co-main event with Matt Guyman because of what I did for the company. So like I say, in this area, I'm the real fucking cash cow. This is really my backyard. I got the city on my back. And a lot of people were kind of pissed off that I said that. Well, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Because I proved it. I'm not just talking it, I'm proving it with my ticket sales. I called up Dave Cranston and was like, bro, is there any more? Do we got anything else? We don't, brother, we don't. I'm like, and I undersold myself because the deal is if you ask for those VIP tickets, you have to sell them or they'll
Sure.
take it out of your purse. So I'm like, fuck, I can't even think of 50 people off the top of my head. So I'm like, okay, just give me 43 of those, give me 50 general admissions. I got this guy that wants to buy like fucking 9 tables. Give me those, you know what I mean? And I still underbid myself. So now next time they come to this area or they come anywhere within a 45-minute vicinity, I'm locking in, man, and I'll do the same shit again. And next time I'll double it. I'll go from 20 to 40, maybe even 60. Who knows, man? Sky's the limit. But if the venue was bigger, I'd sell the fuck out of it. So, you know, that's what I'm willing to do for not only myself but the company, man. I absolutely love fighting for the organization, man. So, you know.
Let's talk about these super teams. You got Shift, that's a super team. You got you guys at All In, that's a super team. There's several of you guys that are in the same weight class. Like you're just talking about fighting Randall, but he's also part of All In. You got Chris Garcia, who's at the same weight class. He's All In. Is it make it difficult? Are you opposed to fighting those guys, or it just has to make money? If it makes money, it makes
I
sense, type
think
of thing.
I think with Vic it would have, because we've talked about that before, and he said it definitely would have to make sense, of
Sure,
course. And I mean, uh, I feel like Chris Garcia, I like Chris, but I feel like I can feel his energy, and I feel like there was shit talking behind closed doors about me, and he also mentioned, oh, I'll beat Blyas, bruh. You didn't even get through Armis. Not to take that, Armis is my fucking boy. I love Armis. You know what I'm
sure.
saying? Like, me and him talk a lot, man. That we fought on multiple cards together. That's my fucking boy. But I kind of felt like Armis was gonna take that fight. That was a risky fight for Chris at that moment, and he did. So it's like, bro, y'all need to pump the brakes with the, oh, I'm gonna beat Blias. I mean, Larimore said the same shit and didn't even get past Keith, who got fucking completely dominated by Blias, bro. So that's where I'm saying there's levels to this shit, man. And like, none of those guys, I told those guys if they were smart, because they're young, those 135ers, they would just continue to build up.
Sure.
Continue to build up. Don't even look at the title right now. You know what I'm saying? Don't even fucking, I mean, think about it, whatever. But I mean, if I was 25 years old in this game, I would, I would do things a lot differently. But I could have a good 5 more years left of fighting, possibly. But I ain't getting any younger, man. You know what I mean? I am getting more handsome, but I'm not getting any more younger, man. So it's, I don't want to be doing this shit forever. And I've always said my thing is I don't plan to get rich off bare knuckle fighting, but I do plan to get rich off the people whom I meet through bare knuckle fighting.
Absolutely.
So the sky's the limit. You know what I mean? And I've already met so many connected, dope ass people, man, that like I said, when I'm done with this game, just building myself up the way that I did fighting for a world title, I could walk away right now and feel completed. And but I need more. I want more. I really really want that fucking belt, man, and I really know in my heart and soul that I can win that belt. So that's what I'm shooting for, man. A lot of people don't care about the belt. They want the money. Well, of course I want the fucking money, but the money comes with time. It comes with the way that these people grow on you and get to love you and get to know you, and you know what I mean. And the way that I'm selling right now, especially in my area, it's only gonna get better.
Let me ask you this: like, it's almost like you're kind of like the bad guy, like you're the man in back. It sounds like like this person doesn't like you, this, and you don't give a fuck. Are you kind of like enjoying being the bad guy? It's kind of fun to be the bad guy, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you could paint me up as anybody who you want to paint me up as, because I know at the end of the day who I truly am, and that's all that really matters. And once again, with all of these guys, whether they paint me as the bad guy or not, I think a lot of them are just kind of being haters. You know what I mean? Towards looking at me like I'm a bad guy. You know what I mean? But it's just once again, it's my opinion. So I really don't do a whole lot of thinking about anything that I don't really need to think about. That's where the meditation comes in. I meditate every day, man, and I do that to clear that noise. You know what I mean? So I focus on the now. If I think about, oh, what's Mac Iman gonna do? How's he gonna do it? Oh, is he really gonna come knock me out? Is he really gonna come? I don't fucking cares. I just all I can control is what I got going on. Can't control nobody else.
All right. Well, I know you had a busy day. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. How do you see? I mean, is there an easy path to victory? And Matt Guyman, everything's gonna have to go exactly perfect for him. Is it going to be an easier night for you and than an easier night for him? Basically, what I'm saying, like
I
you
mean,
have more ways to win, right?
absolutely, and I see that in his game. I have way more ways to win. Whether it's the speed, whether it's the power, whether it's because like you look, he stopped his last opponent, but that was a doctor stoppage, and I don't know who the fuck that guy was that he fought. I mean, he was fucking horrible. I know his record was, I think, pretty decent, but yeah, that was the guy looked like he was just coming in to get a paycheck. His timing was off. Like there was a couple punches he threw that if they would have connected, he probably would have gave Matt some trouble, man. But they didn't connect. I was like, dude was like swinging for the fences, and all his Matt did was 1-2, 1-2, in and out, 1-2, 1-2, in and out, 1-2, 1-2, in and out, and it wasn't even fucking impressive. You know what I mean? So yeah, cool, bro. You threw a lot of punches, but remember, and I just said this on my last interview, and I got this good old saying from Bruce Lee: in order to get me, you must move to me, and when you move to me, it's gonna give me an opportunity to beam this fucking left or right hand right off your face. And ask Perez, you know what I'm saying? The first punch I hit him with, I knocked his fucking front tooth completely loose, and how he ate that shit, I don't know, but I'm very accurate in my strikes, man, and it doesn't take a lot. So let's say Matt throws 50 punches and I only throw 30, but my 30 punches are more accurate, more powerful. Who's winning? You know what I mean? Unless we're going to the scorecards, but this fight ain't going to the scorecards, man. I've been working way too much on my explosive power for this shit to go to the scorecards. And let's not forget, before I even met Nick, I broke Rick Russo's skull with a fucking right hand. You know what I mean? I didn't just knock him down. I broke his skull, and I had no personal training. I had no Nick Ruiz. I had no Dave Mundell. I had barely Julian Lane. You know what I mean? And I'm a whole different fighter, man. And every fight I get into, besides my last fight, I evolve. You know what I mean? I get better. I understand the game more. And unfortunately, Matt hasn't got that experience yet. And yes, experience is a real fucking thing. I feel like he's gonna come into this fight and he's gonna fuck around and find out. He's gonna be like, damn, all right, that was a little okay. Maybe I should have got a couple more tune-ups. But I don't think he can get tune-ups, man, because he obviously ain't selling tickets. And that's unfortunately what the organization looks at. So until they
Sure.
go back to Kansas City and maybe he can foot some traffic through the doors, they don't give a fuck about you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that, and I don't mean just Matt. I'm just saying in fucking general, bro. Like that's just business, bro. That's just the way it is. That's a tough fucking pill to swallow. I mean, look at Bryce Henry. You know what I'm saying? Like, how long has he sat? And you know
12
why? I
months.
feel like
Yeah. 14 months. Yeah.
it's not because he's not marketable. It's not because he can't sell. It's because he really doesn't sell right now. It's because those are the things that I've heard through the grapevine. You know what I mean? I don't think he goes into Miami and sells a bunch of tickets, but the kid's an outstanding fucking fighter. So it shouldn't be about that. But unfortunately, when you're looking at it as a business, that's what it's about. And that's what a lot of these guys care about. Who's watching you? Who cares about you? So, to go in there and lay it down, like, I don't. I don't even care about winning. I don't care about losing. I don't care about none of that shit. Only thing I care about is going out there and showing my fucking ass and having all you guys absolutely love me. That's all I give a shit about. And I feel like I'm doing that up to this point. Because, I mean, look at this, brother. I went in there and lost in 53 seconds, sold $15,000 worth of tickets. I sold 5,000 more in tickets this time around. So do you think those people fucking looked back at my last fight? Like, oh, you got your ass kicked in the last fight. Maybe half of them are paying to hopefully see me get my ass whooped again. Maybe that's what they want. But guess what? You're still paying. You're still watching. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Because out of all those tickets that I sold, I guarantee you there's a couple of haters that bought tickets that are like,
Oh, yeah.
really low key want to see me get my ass whooped. And for whatever reason, like I know I'm a good dude. I know I move with genuine, intentions. So for people, they're just them are haters, bro. But I mean, look at Floyd Mayweather. How many times have you heard somebody bought his pay-per-view because they wanted him to lose? But guess
Mhm.
what? You still bought that shit. You still tuned in, and they got you. You know what I mean? He made a boring ass fight, but I don't look to come in here and just make a boring fight to get by. Like I want to be explosive. I want to be exciting. I want it to be fun for the fans, man. I don't want a fucking stalemate battle like I had with for Quentin Foy. You know what I mean? I don't want that. I want an action pay, and I feel like Guyman will bring it like that. He's gonna try to make it an action. I mean, what does he got to lose? Well, honestly, his undefeated record. So, whether it's 1-0 in the organization, 2-0 in bare knuckle, it's still an undefeated record, my friend. So, you're about to go 1-1, and I've already made up my mind. I hope he's made up his.
Okay, so my last question for you. I mean, we know you're Mundell. He's got a fight coming up. Julian posted he's got a fight coming up. How great is it being able to do all these camps with your buddies and you're in camp at
Oh,
the same time?
it's very good because at least we're all on the same page and we can push each other. Now, unfortunately for Julian, I'm at the end of mine. He's kind of in the beginning of his. So, but it don't matter because he usually stays with me at my house. And I'll still, even after this fight, even if I can't hit the heavy bag or I can't, I mean, my legs will work. I could still
Sure.
run with him. I could still fucking go to the gym with him. I could still shadow box. I could still be that mental guy in his ear, like, nah, bitch, we're getting, because as of right now, I'm outworking these guys. It's very rare that Julian's came into town and that I'm in better shape than him. This is probably the first time that this has happened. So, it's even Dave. We were side by side on the treadmill, and I slightly outworked Dave. I was like, fuck, bro. And that's how that I know that what I'm doing is the right thing. You know what I mean? So those are things that I didn't see in last fights, Cam. Even the fights before that. You know what I mean? And I was beating those guys. And I don't even want to say barely beating them because I mean the Quentin Foy fight was probably one of my closer ones, but like I said, I knew there was title implications next, and I
Sure.
also my hands also hurt really bad during that fight, so I really had to be strategic with it because boom, there it goes. I beam it off his fucking forehead by just throwing a bunch of punches, and I break my hand. Now I'm out 6 months, and that title fight doesn't happen, which probably would have been a good thing at this point. But now I don't have that mentality anymore. Like, oh, I'm gonna conserve. Nah, fuck that. If the hands break, they break. If this happens, it happens. But fucking go all out and make it happen, man. Like that's the thing. Like I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go all out, and I'm not gonna go out there and be stupid about it. I'm gonna be very calculated about it, and I'm not gonna hit. It's gonna hit all by itself. So, you know, there's the things that I've been working on, man. I've been training really diligently to do that. You know what I mean? So my game plan is to win and win victoriously. I want to knock out. And I feel like I have a very good chance of that. So, tune in May 2nd and we gonna see.
It sounds like a new Ryan. I love it. Dude, I appreciate you always coming on the Reddit and talking shit with people and posting shit like you're a great guy. Is there any message or shout out you want to give before we call it a night?
Man, of course, man. I got to shout out the gang, man. Julian, Dave, Nick, my trainer Matt, all my guys that I spar with, and of course my management, man. Vic, you guys you guys take great care of me. Sam and Vic, man, them two together. My camera guy from All In, Kodak. Man, you guys, I appreciate and just nothing but love for you guys, man. You guys make my life a lot easier in this fight game, man. You really do, man. And all my fans that really truly want to see me win and really truly respect and have love for me, I appreciate all you guys, man. I really do. I anybody who reaches out to me, I don't care if you're the janitor or you're fucking smoking pole in the back alley, bro. Like I appreciate you, man, and I make sure I try to get back with anybody and everybody I can because yes, I'm busy, but I'm never too busy for love that anybody shows me, man. So I'm just I'm just a very appreciative for that, man, and I'm thankful for the opportunity that Bare Knuckle has gave me to go out there and show my ass once again and sell out a small arena and it's gonna be fireworks. It's gonna be fireworks to say the least, man. And I'm fucking excited, man. I had today was my last hard day. I got up this morning at 9, tired as fuck. With Nick, met him at the park, ran sprints for a fucking hour, bro. And then I went and I sparred 15 2-minute rounds with 5 different opponents, and one of them being Julian Lane. So, I'm telling you, man, it's fucking on and popping, bro. Like I feel way better than I ever have at the end of camp. Like usually, like you said, I feel bad because you guys are cutting weight. I'm smart, man. I don't have to cut too much weight. 10 pounds is enough. And I watch what I put in my mouth and I watch what comes out of my mouth as well. So, I'm dialed the fuck in this time, man. I'm like, even just talking about it, I get excited, man. So like that
Fantastic.
energy is always high, and it's what I'm back, baby. Hello, 135. I'm back. So look
All right,
forward
dude.
to it, man.
Lots of love for you. I appreciate it. Thanks for answering the questions. I'm glad. I'm going to save some of these other ones for your mom. And your mom's excited. She's excited. We're all
Love
excited.
you, mom.
Again, thanks for being on the Reddit. Appreciate it. Can't wait to talk to you after your win.
Hey, you're the man, brother.
Thanks, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you, bro.